Lunch is served. Time to go to Nourish Town, USA. Wait a sec. What time is it? Oh, thank God. All right. Yo, what is up? Welcome back to another week of How to Health, How to Fast edition. My name is Kevin. I run liftandbalance.com, where we take aim at all things health and do it in an odd, weird, interesting, and highly sarcastic manner. Today, we're going to do a little recap. A recap of one of my fasting experiments turned lifestyle routine. We are discussing the good, the bad, and the ugly from 1 full year of early OMAD, or 1 meal a day, the early way. That was pretty catchy. I know. I'm excited too, but maybe that's only because it's almost time to eat. Anyhow, you guys already know that I am bullish on fasting as a tool to enhance longevity. Just about as bullish as Elon seems to be on Dogecoin. To the moon! I don't know if we can get through a video now without an Elon reference. I'm sorry. Can't help it. Research to date has pegged a meal timing protocol, otherwise known as intermittent fasting or time-restricted feeding, as one of the most health span and longevity boosters that we have at our disposal, improving cellular and metabolic health and cleaning us from the inside out. But I know you guys already knew that. And if you didn't, we have 40 plus videos on the Fasting 101 playlist, which I'll link below, breaking it all down. Here's the Reader's Digest background. Over the past couple of years, I've been experimenting and documenting a number of different fasting protocols here on YouTube. Long story short, while looking for a way to safely transition off a 6-month stint of alternate day fasting, I landed on OMAD. If you're interested, these 2 videos break down the whole process. But little did I know, this early OMAD protocol was gonna grow on me, pushing past my typical experimental window of 3 to 6 months and all the way to a full calendar year. So since we're here, let's break it down. The good, the bad, the hungry. First, let me explain the protocol. Okay, early OMAD. We're gonna make this simple. OMAD, as you already know, stands for 1 meal a day. So for me, this boils down to eating all my energy-containing foods in a 2-hour grazing window each day. You can also look at this as a 22 and 2 protocol. Now, what makes this a tad different than most OMAD protocols, and really any intermittent fasting window in general, is its blatant rebellion against dinner. I've been dinnerless and proud for years now, and I don't care who knows it. Not that anyone would care, but now I do this for a number of longevity-focused reasons that are broken down in this meal timing video here. Back to the protocol, for me, this 2-hour feeding window happens between the times of 11 a.m. and 1 p.m. each and every day. I eat, and then we're back to fasting. Again, there is a lot of longevity-focused rationale behind both the OMAD piece and the early piece, and I will link all the videos that go into the details down in the show links below. Now, would I say that early OMAD is an optimal strategy for every single person? Absolutely not. It is definitely a tad more on the extreme side. And we are all in a different present day health state. So the best thing that anyone can do when they are noodling about implementing a fasting protocol is 1, educate yourself, which is hopefully why you're here. And 2, start slow. We're playing the long game. And of course, if you have a pre-existing condition, always loop in your doctor. All right, so now, time for the interesting observations. First, the honeymoon phase. If you haven't noticed already, our bodies are super cool. They are constantly adapting and adjusting to the environment and the interventions that we throw at them. Whenever we introduce a change, like working out, like eating healthy, like prioritizing sleep, or a meal timing protocol, we typically see something which I'll coin the intervention honeymoon. This is the time where you see most of the progress that was the underlying driver for the initial investment or intervention. For example, gaining more muscle mass, losing some weight, or improving some biomarkers like blood sugar, cholesterol, and blood pressure. And this is awesome until, well, the progress stops or you hit a plateau. This cease of progress is when our body, the adaptation machine that it is, completes its adjustments to the intervention that was thrown at it and rebalances. And I know what you're thinking. This sucks. Well, it doesn't. And I'll tell you why. This means you succeeded. This means the intervention worked. You've achieved some results and your body found a new homeostasis. The end of your honeymoon phase simply means it's time to reevaluate your goals and retweak the protocol to achieve your new ones, if there are new ones. If you want to understand more about what plateaus are, why they're good, and how to break them, check out this video here. So, for early OMAD, my honeymoon phase of noticeable progress was around 6 months. And during this time, I experienced a steady lean down with a reduction in body fat. And side note, I do work out every day, so that goes a long way in preserving lean muscle mass. I also saw enhanced muscle gain during this honeymoon phase when compared to the previous 6 months of ADF, which makes sense. I'm eating more frequently and I'm still training. And then there was the consistently strong sleep, in particular REM and deep sleep, tracked by the Oura Ring, and great daily energy. Although I contribute a lot of that to the healthy routine and consistency that's deployed every day. And lastly, although it's never an objective or a priority, the honeymoon phase was where a healthy amount of weight loss happened, about 10 pounds. Next observation, the power of good timing. Meal timing has power. If you didn't already realize it, a lot of what we do each and every day revolves around eating. And what, when, and how much we eat are critical components to entraining our internal body clock. Yes, we have an internal body clock. Broken down here. Super cool. What time is it? Production team, what's my body clock? Production team. The modern day problem is, with this non-stop, inconsistent feeding schedule, which typically spans 14 to 15 hours for the average person, the body becomes disaligned, unable to metabolize and store energy properly. Overworking systems, like the liver's detoxification functions and the beta cells that produce insulin in the pancreas. This also impairs sleep quality due to the continuous digestive demand, and overall setting the body up for disease onset and acceleration. Not cool. I know. And in most cases, when someone is all over the place with their eating, timing, and nourishment, they're typically all over the place with their health. So one of the biggest takeaways from early OMAD was the structure. And that goes for really any intermittent fasting or time-restricted feeding protocol. Consistent meal timing is one of the most powerful things that we can do to get our health back in line. And conveniently, it's one of the most doable interventions to start out with. This consistency entrains your body to expect and prepare for food at a certain time each and every day. And in doing this, it is able to focus a large portion of the day, the non-feeding window or fasting window, to regenerating, restoring, rebuilding, and detoxifying the rest of the body, like it should be. Funny thing is, when I built a consistent meal timing schedule, I noticed I only magically get hungry at the same time each and every day. And this has been consistent in my 4 years of experimenting many different protocols. Thus, structure has power. And one of the best features that it can enhance is sleep. Sleep has stayed strong. Me. This is the part where I talk about sleep. It cleans out your brain and rebuilds your meat. The most important stages are REM and deep, so put your phone down and go to sleep. Oh, your sleep. Oh, your sleep. Without it, you'll be dead in a week. Oh, your sleep. Oh, your sleep. Hey, what are you still doing on YouTube? Shut it off and go to bed. That's my sleep song. Over the course of the last year, sleep has stayed very strong. I attribute this to proper sleep hygiene, as you can see here, and one of the key parts of said hygiene, early meal timing. I have been following a dinnerless early time restricted feeding protocol for the last 3 years. And sleep, the most regenerating and restorative part of our 24-hour day, has been stellar. A lot of my metrics had balanced out after moving from more of an extreme alternate day fasting protocol. And this is really due to the slight stress that 36 plus hours of fasting has on your body. We discuss it here. But over the course of the last 3 years, the shining star when it comes to sleep has to be deep sleep. And OMAD actually provided a slight uptick, which I didn't think was possible, bringing it to a near 3 hours per 7.5 hours of sleep at night. Now for reference, the average adult gets between 1 and 1.5 hours of deep sleep per night. And since we know all the crazy awesome benefits that deep sleep brings to the table, we want to get as much as possible, right? Right. And one thing that has been very evident in the past 2 years of me actually tracking my sleep is how big late night meals and things such as alcohol completely tank sleep quality. Tanks it. And to be honest, when I see the objective data and more importantly, experience the subjective feel of being sluggish and lethargic the next day, dinner just doesn't look that appetizing anymore. And to start to improve your sleep quality, you don't have to skip dinner. You just want to aim for finishing your last big meal around 3 hours before bed. That is a good benchmark. That is a good goal. We talk about it in a lot of the other meal timing videos. You don't have to skip dinner. I'm being a drama queen, king. And with all that being said, the last observation is key. It's all about balance. Find your balance. This last year of early OMAD has been interesting, mainly because it's come with far less social stress tests than I would expect over the course of a year, aka all those personal and work parties and gatherings. And to be honest, it's been kind of nice not, having to worry about it. That being said, I've been eating early for a number of years now, with a lot of work dinners, barbecues, and watching the game with the boys under my belt. And with all that, it has been evident that in order to sustain a protocol like this, you need to be flexible. It's important to build a protocol that you know you can sustain. And part of that building process should be the built-in expectation that flexing off of it a few days a month is totally fine. You gotta understand that we are social creatures, and being social is also critical to our health. So, one of the key things that I've learned the hard way is never let an intermittent fasting protocol stop you from socializing. Instead, build a strategy that lets the two coexist, like a modified OMAD or fasting schedule, aka pushing your window forward or back to accommodate that day's activities, or simply extending it. The key here is not to sweat it. And I know it is a lot easier said than done, but keep in mind, if your fasting protocol is introducing psychological stress into your life, that means it's time to stop, reevaluate, and adjust. This thing called life is a game of balance, and finding balance is a daily practice. Remember, one day will never define you, and you only truly fall off the wagon if you don't get up, dust yourself off, and get back on it. So be flexible and get back on track. It's a consistency and mindset game more than anything else. And a structured feeding protocol is just one of the many pieces in this overarching health and longevity puzzle. You got this. And that's it. That's what I got. A few observations from my 1 year of early OMAD. Hopefully it provided a few pieces of interesting and valuable information. As always, let me know what comments, questions, any random thoughts you have down below. Love to stay in chat, but it seems as if my internal body alarm clock is going off. Must be time to eat. Dinner is breakfast is well, I guess it's really brunch. Oh my God. Am I a brunch guy?